Over. Well, welcome everyone and to today's session and to those that will come back and listen to the replay. Welcome. And I see I got a little nugget down here, a leadership nugget. Being in the position of a follower doesn't negate our inherent leadership potential. We all are leaders in some shape, form, or fashion. We all are leaders.
Mhm.
All right. For those that know me and those that don't know me, I'm gonna put my little box up here because it's kind of in my way here. I am Dr. CJ Lee, CEO and founder of Wisdom Leadership Global Academy Corp,
Mhm.
and I am thrilled to share my passion for leadership with the world. Also, I am a published author, and I notated my link to my book. If you're interested in purchasing my book, you can go to Amazon or wherever you buy books at. And the title here, How to Be an Effective Teacher in the Public School System. And according to different readers that purchased the book, they said that it's not for teachers, for everybody. So, hey, feel free to get it. I hold a doctor's degree in educational leadership professional practice from Trevecca Nazarene University right here in Nashville, Tennessee. And I put a snippet of our mission statement, but I always jump to that last sentence: equipping and empowering the next generation of effective, global, influential, emerging leaders for the marketplace is our assignment. And that is
Mhm.
factual. I also notated our website. If you get an opportunity, please visit, and also included our email address. If you have any questions or concern, you can always email us there and we try to get back to you within 24 to 48 hours. Any questions? All
No.
right. I'm going to take off my glass because I like to really see what I'm reading my notes so I can understand my own handwriting. And these notes are just something that I take when I'm doing my research, something that stick out to me, and I kind of jot it down. And as for many of you all that know me and those that might come back and listen to the replay, this is not a spiritual session. However, but the corporation is wisdom, and that comes from the Bible. So I got a few scriptures that I also mentioned in this presentation, but it's not mandatory for anybody. I'm trying not to get anybody to come in. This is strictly about leadership, but I had to share that these are two scriptures. So when you see that
Mhm.
in the presentation, you'll know up front. All right, my notes here I got the definition of character: the complex of mental and ethical traits marking and often individualizing a person, a group, or a nation. Character is not just personal trait.
Mhm.
Character is not just a personal trait. It is the foundation of our leadership influence.
Mhm.
Competence, get us, listen to this, and we hear this, we probably heard this a million times, and you probably throughout your life as a leader, you're going to hear this here. Character is not character, I'm sorry, competence gets us hired. But
Mhm.
listen, character keeps us hired. You're going to hear
Mhm.
that probably throughout the presentation. Like I said, as a leader, you're going to hear that from now on until you retire. In
Mhm.
an era of rapid change, our character is the only constant. When we lead with high character, we build a trust reservoir. Listen, character is not revealed in the time of success. Okay? It's not. It's not. It is not. It is forged in the crucible of adversity, challenging times, difficult times, hard times. Okay? Listen, how we respond when no one is watching or when everyone is watching and the stakes are high defines our long term reputation more than any title or accolades. That is factual. Listen, and this right here is so true. It's factual. Character is contagious. Woo! A merry heart does good like medicine. Character is contagious. As a leader, our character acts as the ceiling for our team's culture. We cannot expect, listen, you listen to this here. We cannot expect others to meet a standard of behavior when we don't embody ourselves. We can expect people to those upon our tutelage, upon our leadership, to behave in a way that we don't behave. By prioritizing character, we invite others to raise their own internal bar. Now, listen, this last little note here, this presentation and what you have heard me from my notes already. If you don't get nothing else, you got to write this down. I talk fast, so I'm gonna repeat it 3 times. Okay, I'm going slow so you can get. If you don't get nothing else, get this. The character we cultivate today is the environment our team will work in tomorrow. Let me say it for a second time. The character we cultivate today is the environment our team, the organization, the environment of our team will work in tomorrow. Let me say it for a third time. The character we cultivate today is the environment our team will work in tomorrow. You don't get nothing else. You got to get that. All right. And I also mentioned about talking about 11 core character architectures. But I gave this is day 4, so I'm gonna give you the threes. Judgment is the first one. Integrity was the second core trait. The third core trait was courage, and today is drive, the engine. We strive for excellence, move with a sense of urgency, and push our team forward to achieve big goals. Today's word core trait is for leadership is drive. All right, let's go and dive on into today's hot off the press topic, character matters. Okay, look, my air is blowing and blowing my paper everywhere. All right, then let's get started here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. And I gave you, let me give you another key nugget here. Then this is from the late Dr. Miles Monroe. And that got it up in the top left-hand corner. It might be in your right-hand corner. Can you see that?
See what?
That box at the top.
With the hand or the key? Oh, the nugget. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
All right, now, Miss TL. We are, in essence, a leader, whether we manifest it or not. Whether we are rich, poor, young, old, male, female, black, white, a citizen of an industrial nation, a citizen of a third world nation, we could be educated or uneducated. We possess the nature and capacity for leadership. This is from the late Dr. Miles Monroe. I'm talking about was a powerful teacher, business leadership teacher, and spiritual teacher. Now, why does character matter? And this is the 2 scriptures that I'm talking. I mentioned earlier. If we define it from a biblical perspective, it tells us that endurance produces character, and character produces hope. That's Romans 5:4. Proverbs 22:1 says, a good name earned by honorable behavior, godly wisdom, moral courage, and personal integrity is more desirable than great riches, and favor is better than silver and gold. Character is better than silver and gold. Tia, can you, if you don't mind, can you read that? What does the business world say about why character matter?
Sure. In essence, the modern business consensus is that while competence, skill, and strategy might get us to the table, character is what determines whether we and our corporation or organization will truly sustain that success, and influence others positively in the long run.
That is so true. It's factual. The significance of character matters lies in the alignment between a corporation or an organization stated values. I highlighted this what I consider this is the bedrock of the corporation or organization. integrity,
Mm.
accountability, and ethical consistency. They are not merely abstract ideas, but the primary driver of sustainable performance. And it helps deal with stakeholders, it helps build stakeholders' trust and long-term brand equity.
Mm.
Any questions or comments?
No, I mean, all of which is lacking, but yes.
So true, so true. And you see the
Mm-hmm.
little hand that character matters, respect, honesty, responsibility, kindness, and integrity. It is so true. Our character matter. And then all I can say, this is not a spiritual session, but everything starts in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move to my next screen here.
Why
All
do you
right.
think, I do have a question,
Yes,
sorry.
ma'am.
Why
Mhm.
do you think so many, you know, in speaking with leaders, hiring for leaders, be it whatever the position in the seven spheres of influence that requires leadership, why do you think having the right character is the least on the totem pole?
It could be greed
Mm,
and like a skills, like a, being taught. You know what I'm saying? Because you have a really, I can say for myself, I never was taught about character.
mm,
I didn't really hear about character until I got into the business of leadership, which God led me into leadership. I
mm-hmm,
started hearing about character, and it was from a director that gave me a handout, and said, "Carol, when you this was when I was the president of the union at the Internal Revenue Service in the government." And he said, "Read this here. This is talking about character." And he said, and he even mentioned, and this was about 15 years or 15 to 20 years ago. He's got, this is what a lot of leaders are lacking. And I read that and it stuck with me. And then I wanted to join. I started taking classes from the John Maxwell
mm-hmm.
leadership class. And so I think it's like a skills, like a upbringing, like a training. And it's
Yeah.
like of knowing really who you are. It's about
Mm.
identity.
But ethical integrity, accountability, um, traits, attributes, that's all a part of your character. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? It ain't your skills that you possess. That's not a part of your character. That's just knowledge that you have. Either you know how to do something, you know how to implement something. And that's what, we see and what we talk about all the time is how so many that are in position, they have either money,
Mm-hmm.
or they have the knowledge on how to do the job, but you
Right.
lack tremendously in the character for the job.
But see, just like you stated, integrity and all character and all of that. But you talked about the skills, you know what I'm saying, and the ability. That's all. If we really being honest, that's all we've been taught in training. The skills you
Mhm.
would need, the strategies. You know what I'm saying. Not dealing. You don't even really hear about too many. I'm talking about it, integrity, the trust. You know what I'm saying. And like you said, all of that builds our character. But
Right, patience. Patience you got to have, because
communication,
that is exactly, that's at the top of the list of your character. That's
listening
just,
skills.
yeah, that's a part of communication.
Yeah,
It is at the top of the list. And it's just like when I'm speaking with people, and I'm gonna let you go on. When I'm speaking with people, even if I am, people that I'm speaking to for leadership roles and things of that nature, I can now see virtually if they come on camera, but I
mhm,
listen. I listen for your tone. I listen to what you portray. I listen and look for if you lack professionalism, if you fallen
mhm,
short in professionalism, that is something to be said about your character.
mhm. But see, there you go again. Like I said, if companies, organization, wherever you're leading, if we are really be honest and sit down, how many teach character first?
Mm-mm. You
And
ain't got it.
these core character architectures, which is the core traits of leadership.
Mm.
You probably ain't gonna find it in there on their agenda. You're not gonna find it. We're gonna take this time out today's session. We're just gonna deal with character. You ain't gonna find it. You
No,
ain't
you
gonna
ain't gonna find it. Just like you don't hear about servant leadership. Like I told you, somebody
find
asked me, what is that?
Wow.
You don't hear about that, and again, leadership, the first part of that is lead. Okay, but we can go on. Yeah, I
You
know you
know
got
what?
much to cover.
You just gave me an idea though. When because it wisdom leadership that you're gonna need the wisdom so you can build your character. But that's one word. That's what I think I'm gonna get you to probably put that together, dealing with the application when we start hiring professors
Hmm.
and then facilitator. What does your character? What is your character?
Hmm.
Do you really understand what does character mean? We
Right.
don't have to word that and put that on the application because they're going to be a
Hmm.
question. They're going to have to write a sentence to that. That was good, Tia. Thank you for your input.
Hmm.
Appreciate that. All right. I think right here, let me move my little box here. And I got another little box here. I hope you can see that. Integrity is telling myself the truth. Honesty is telling the truth to other people.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, we don't. When I remember, a director told me when I was at the government that he said, "See, in leadership, we got the golden rule." I said, "What's the golden rule?" We keep everything to ourselves. I said, "See, y'all got a problem right there."
Hmm. Hmm.
The golden rule needs to be changed.
Right.
Listen, the Greek philosopher Herodotus, I might be pronouncing that wrong. He said, "A man's character is his fate." This is a true story. Millions and heard about it. Maybe, Tia, I don't know if you hadn't heard about this story, even those that come back and listen to the replay, but this is a true story that hit the world like a whirlwind. And his
Mm.
name was Bernard. I'm sorry, I say Bernard. Bernard Madoff. He was a prominent business figure. His character was shot. This man was sentenced to 150 years in prison for his role in a major Ponzi scheme. He didn't just scheme his clients out of $100, $1,000, millions of dollars. That man schemed his clients out of billions of dollars.
Mm.
I'm talking about right there that was a person that lost his character or never found his character. But one thing I highlighted down here, the comment of the judge. I got
Mm.
to in terms of mitigating factors in a white collar fraud case such as this, I would expect to see letters from family and friends and colleagues, but not a single letter has been submitted attesting to Mr. Madoff's good deeds, good
Mm.
character, or civic or charitable activities. The absence of such support is telling. Look what the
Mm.
judge said about him in the courtroom. And they said, notably, not a single friend, family member, neighbor, colleague, or acquaintance stepped forward to provide a wow, positive statement about Madoff's character or action.
Mm.
This lack of support demonstrates a striking absence of goodwill that could have been crucial in mitigating his sentence and possibly securing his release on bail before the end of his life.
Mm.
Our character matters as leaders. Did y'all hear me? The man got 150 years in prison.
Mm.
Oh, and not a single. What you tell me that I work with you 10, 20, 30 years and I ain't got nothing good to say about you? I think my first year, I should have something good to say about my leader.
I think what's terrible is that his family didn't have nothing to say about him.
Whoa. And everything begins at home.
Yep.
His
Yep.
family. What about the wife, the daughter, the
Mm.
son? Nobody.
Mm.
Oh, that's scary. That's
Mm-hmm.
scary. I think I probably said, Lord, gonna take me out. Woo!
Yeah.
All righty. All right. Listen. Listen, and this is we see this every day in the news. Starting strong, then self-destructing.
Mm.
Ah, effective leadership is paramount in inspiring individuals and achieving a clear purpose and vision. However, a concerning trend has emerged in our society. Everybody can attest to that. Everybody can attest to that. Numerous leaders began their journey with promise, yet ultimately fell due to moral deficiency, thus jeopardizing their hard earned accomplishment. I thought about, here you go again. I thought about the scripture. What will prosper a man to gain the whole wide world and lose his soul? Lose your character. Over time, many capable leaders have squandered their potentials, rendering them unable to make meaningful contribution to their community. It is imperative that we identify and cultivate leaders who embody wisdom and integrity, particularly as we navigate the complex challenges and crises that confront us today. Our character matters.
Yes,
The
it does.
integrity of future leadership is crucial, and we must proactively address this issue. We get, and I'm gonna pause right here real quick. We got to stop voting in people because of their name or how much money they got. What's their character like? What are they character like? You know what I'm saying? Name recognition. It's good to have a good name, but what really, what that name entails?
Well, I would definitely say if anybody's paying attention, if anybody's truly paying attention, character, people have really shown you in our government what their character is all about. They've really shown you what time it is if you've really been paying attention to politics this year.
That's right. That's right. Rather be up at from the White House all the way down to our local government. Anybody in leadership position that's running for re-election, you have already seen their character because they help open up businesses and bring this to your state and bring this to the community. Character matters. Check their character. Even the kids, you see the kids over here jumping. Character, caring, helpful, accepting, respectful, ambition, citizenship, trustworthy, empathetic, reasonable. It matters.
Responsible.
I say reasonable, responsible. Then they got here caring, love, cherish, truth, respect, and friendship. All that dealing with the character. And people, we got to get in it. You're gonna get it at Wisdom Leadership Global Academy Corp. You're gonna get it. All right. I'm at the conclusion here. Closing summary. And Tia, I'm gonna start it off. If you don't mind, you can just help me here, and we can finish this on up.
Okay.
Character is not just a part of the leadership equation; it is the multiplier. Without it, everything else we achieve eventually trends toward zero. Without it, everything else we achieve eventually trends toward zero. The true substance of leadership, that which determines whether we as leaders build a legacy or leave ruin, is character. Let me read that again. As leaders, let me go back. The true substance of leadership, that which determines whether we as leaders build a legacy or leave ruin. Ruin is character. Next one.
Character is the ultimate leadership currency. Trust is the hardest to earn and easiest to lose. That is so true. So true. Character creates a bank of trust that allows us to lead through the unknown. That's it.
The difference between influence and manipulation. Ooh, okay. Leadership is ultimately the art of moving people toward a common vision. When that movement is powered by ego or expendicy, it is manipulation. When it is powered by integrity, empathy, and moral courage, it is true influence. I highlighted character ensures that our leadership serves the people rather than the people serving our ambition.
Legacy is written in the quiet moments. The most significant tests of leadership do not happen on a stage or in boardrooms.
Hmm.
They happen when no one is watching. It is in, and someone is always watching. So it
Yeah.
happens when you think no one is watching.
Yes, ma'am.
It is in those quiet, solitary decisions, the choice to do what is right over what is easy, or what is honest over what is profitable, that the true measure of leadership is
True quality.
forged. To the
Oh, okay, yeah, go ahead, go ahead. I'm sorry.
that the true measure of a leader is forged.
And I got in the middle there. Character matters always.
Hmm.
Resilience and more gravity. A leader without character is like a ship without a rudder. They will drift
Hmm.
wherever the culture or political winds blow. A character driven leader possesses the moral gravity, a centeredness that provides the stability for their team during turbulence. This provides the psychological safety required for others to innovate, take risks, and perform at their best.
The life changing realization. The most profound truth is this: we can improve our skills, but we must cultivate our character. True. Skills can be taught in a seminar. Character is grown through the daily, intentional choices you make. Oh,
Wow.
oh,
Ultimately, when our team in leadership concludes, people may forget the specific project we managed or the quarterly goal we hit. They will, however, never forget how we treated them. So true. The standard we set and whether they felt safe and valued under our guidance.
and
Oh,
I think about the life change and realization, what I just read, cultivate is just like a seed when you put it in the ground to plant,
mhm.
a flower seed.
Yes, yes,
It's going to go through some sun, it's
mhm.
going to go through some rain, it's going to
Yes,
go through some tough times, some tough weather. But the ultimate goal is once it's birthed forward, when it blooms. You know what I'm
yes,
saying? It's a
yes.
beauty. It's beautiful to behold.
Ooh,
And it's just like your cat. It's gonna be tested. It's gonna
mhm.
be tried. You're gonna go through some rain.
Yes,
You're gonna have some sunshiny days. You're gonna have some snow. You're gonna have some sleet. You're gonna have
Gail.
some ice. You're gonna have some hail. You're gonna have some floods. You're gonna have all kind of stuff to try to hit at that character. But
Yes.
once you come out, you're gonna be pure as gold. You're gonna be the person you have been created to be.
You think about going through the fire. Look at the three Hebrew boys.
Yeah.
They wouldn't burn out
Yeah.
a scar. They didn't even smell like smoke.
Nope. Not at
Woo.
all.
All right. All right, we at the end of the presentation. Let me see here. All right. Rush Limbaugh, I think he's deceased now, if I'm not mistaken, but he said character matters. Leadership descends from character. See, everybody talking about
Mhm.
that character, and I don't understand why is it so less talked about in the world in the seven spheres of influence. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to you joining me every Friday at 12 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time for a 30 minutes recharging our leadership battery. And again, for the theme for this year is cultivating the will to lead. The month of July, we chose the topic character matters.
Mhm.
Listen, I'm your host, Dr. CJ Lee. And again, go our website and get an opportunity. Please visit our email address. You can always email us and we will get back to you within 24 to 48 hours. I hope you have I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and have a safe, blessed weekend. Until I see you next Friday, the Lord says the same. Be blessed. All right, Tia. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.